David Goggins eats once a day, runs marathons for fun, and calls you soft if you get hungry before noon. But what exactly made David Goggins' diet so effective? I mean, sure, it clearly worked, but I'm way more interested in what his results actually mean for me and you. So let's break the diet down. I'm gonna go over what the guy actually ate, the theory and science behind everything, and the surprising ways it could totally backfire if you jump into copying his plan without knowing what you're doing. Because this style of dieting is a f***ing minefield. Alright, so first things first, I'm not here to trash Goggins. The guy's a machine, Navy SEAL, ultra marathon runner, an ex-300 pound guy that basically turned suffering into a personality trait. I mean, he built his entire brand around doing what most people won't or can't. Running 100 miles on broken feet, waking up before the fucking sun does. But when people say, oh yeah, I'm gonna eat like Goggins and get absolutely shredded, it's just kind of like, bro, you sit in a cubicle and drive a Honda Civic. I just have a sneaking little suspicion that you're probably not capable of running 50 miles a week at 3% body fat. And yeah, some of you guys watching might actually have a little bit of Goggins in you. You might even love the grind. But let's be real, I think the vast majority of people would probably prefer to get lean without absolutely hating their fucking life. So now let's actually jump into what he eats, why it works for him, and what happens when normal people like me try and copy it. Spoiler alert, it's usually not very good. So while I could just sit here and tell you exactly what he eats, I think it makes a little bit more sense to let Goggins do the talking here.
I had to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months. There wasn't much of a diet, just like pretty much don't eat. I wake up in the morning time, I have a banana. So for the first 50 days, I rode a bike a lot. I went to the swimming pool a lot. I just basically trained all day long. So that's how I went. And before I knew it, I lost the weight.
Honestly, a little bit unsurprisingly, given his character, things are very simple. During his Navy SEAL training, he was often eating literally once a day, which honestly I can get behind. I'm pretty much in the same boat on my diet, except instead of eating one little sad banana or some chicken breast and half a salad, I'm usually eating around 2,500 calories a day. Forcing yourself to be starving and then go on like a long distance marathon, I've found in the real world from my own experience and from my coaching clients' experiences, is usually gonna lead to you eating a little bit more than you bargained for afterwards. If you don't believe me, try doing a few hours of intense cardio every single morning, fasted, and then don't eat throughout the entire day, still get all your work commitments done, go to the gym, hit a heavy workout, and then try eating like a sad little bowl of dry chicken and a banana for dinner. Update me in the comments after a week. Now, if you're a Navy SEAL, this probably makes a good deal of sense. But for the average person, starving yourself and forcing yourself to push through hours of cardio is generally not something I'm usually gonna recommend. So the whole like mental resilience, eating nails shit aside, let's talk a little bit about the actual science behind doing fasted cardio like this. There is actually some evidence that suggests that doing cardio fasted tends to be a little bit more optimal for overall fat burn and weight loss. For starters, by doing cardio fasted in the morning, since you're on an empty stomach, you really are kind of tapping directly into your body's fat energy stores for fuel, as opposed to eating like a 1,000 calorie meal or something and then doing your cardio. When you're on a diet, you're working with limited calories. Think of your body like a car. You need those calories, those carbs, and that fuel to give you the energy and the performance needed in your workouts that allows you to hang on to your muscle while you're in a deficit. So the kind of order here, pulling your fuel from your backup storage during your cardio sessions, you're not burning through your very limited meals that you need, specifically the carbs, to optimally perform in your workouts. So if you eat like a 1,000 calorie meal, then burn it all off from your cardio, and then you do your workout, instead of having those carbs and having those delicious nutrients available to perform and keep your muscle on your body, you're just kind of wasting it on your cardio. So on paper, this looks good, it makes sense. However, and this is gonna be a recurring theme, the extreme that David Goggins pushes this to is not even close to necessary for you or most people to make progress. In fact, it's quite counterproductive because it's just so fucking hard to stick to. What I'm getting at is, in practice, if you're hungry, you should eat. Basically, David Goggins' diet is just ultra high output and ultra low input. Essentially the most aggressive calorie deficit you can create. It works because he has absolutely ridiculous levels of discipline, but also because it's just math. Eating less than you burn equals fat loss. That does not mean it's optimal, sustainable, or healthy. You know what is optimal? My free diet guide that actually shows you how to do this in a way that doesn't make you hate your life. Check check it out below. So most people who try this approach go in with good intentions and then fall off super hard. Hunger makes you do really dumb shit. You end up raiding the fridge at midnight, convinced 6 rice cakes and some protein sludge counts as a snack. And next thing you know, you're like 2,000 calories deep, blaming it all on yourself and your lack of discipline. It's not discipline, it's your plan that sucks. And again, this is the same guy that ran over 100 miles with broken feet. This sort of diet structure works for David Goggins because he's conditioned to it. He moves like 30,000 steps a day, and he doesn't care if it sucks. Most people do care if it sucks. Working a normal job, have school commitments, not doing 2 days in the rain while singing about how your girl's a vegetable. The dude just has absurd mental toughness. That does not make the diet good. It just means he can survive on it longer than you can. And personally, my willpower absolutely fucking sucks when it comes to food. I still eat like a little kid every day. Pizza, ice cream, chicken tenders, and I'm dropping weight very steadily. So this stuff isn't just theory for me. I've tried to force myself into like the whole clean eating grind with Tupperware chicken, broccoli, and oats with absolutely no flavor. I'd last a few days and then crash face first into a box of Little Debbie cakes, or maybe if I was a little bit more disciplined that day, some protein bars or something. Basically just digging through the pantry for anything that looks like joy. I literally built my whole program around this idea. Your diet shouldn't be something that you have to suffer through. It should feel doable, and you shouldn't need to be a Navy SEAL to stick to it. If the only way your diet works is by being miserable every second of the day, it doesn't work. Or at least not for long, and probably not for you watching this right now. So here's the part that no one really wants to hear. Goggins isn't wrong. He's just not relatable. I mean, he's living proof that you really can just make a banana a day work if you are disciplined enough. And even if you are, that doesn't mean it's the best way to do things either. I mean, my sort of strategy right now revolves around eating a light meal sometime in the early to mid-afternoon because I get fucking hungry, so I decide to eat. I know, mind blower. And then right before I go to bed, I'll just watch anime for like 30 minutes to an hour and blow through the rest of my calories. I generally almost always keep a few high protein snacks on hand in my bag, so I'm never caught hungry without a plan. In other words, if you see me in public, odds are I probably have a cupcake on me. On top of that, I burn a ton of calories at my desk while I work. That combo right there, prepped, very enjoyable food, and sustainable levels of activity that integrate well with your life is gonna be way more effective than any kind of extreme masochistic diet. And I get it. I mean, watching the David Goggins grind and seeing him make all these absolutely insane accomplishments can really make you feel like you're not doing enough. But a lot of the time, seriously, less is more. You have to remember he's not really trying to be healthy here. I don't think many people prioritizing their health, their overall fitness and longevity run 100 miles while their feet are broken. Like he's trying to break himself on purpose. So let's say you are a crazy little cookie and you do actually decide to try David Goggins' plan. What the fuck happens? Well, usually burnout, binges, frustration, and feeling like a failure about 5 to 7 days in. And honestly, that was me over and over. Every time I went all in on some extreme eat clean or die diet plan, I really would do pretty well for a few days, and you kind of get this little dopamine spike of seeing the scale go down like 5 to 10 pounds in a couple days, until you eventually do crash hard. I think specifically for this kind of plan, the worst part is the fact that it really is so simple, and there's no like magical promise or like little hack, like fucking drinking lemon coffee or something in the morning. It literally just wrecks your mental health and makes you feel like a failure. I'm not gonna sit here and try and act like I'm your therapist or something, but it really is hard to feel good about yourself after like 3 or 4 cycles of this. There's a reason why I still eat pizza and cookies while I'm cutting. It's not some magic cheat code, it's just a smart system for fat asses like me. High protein, high volume, super easy to stick to. That's how you get shredded without having Little Debbie appear in your dreams every night. David Goggins is an elite human being. His diet works because he's operating on a completely different level. I think maybe he figured out how to like manually tweak some settings or something in his noggin. I really don't fucking know. But if you want to get lean and stay lean without becoming a hermit with sore knees and zero energy, copy copy his mindset, not his menu. You can still be disciplined without being miserable and get better results anyways. So yeah, this stuff isn't magic. It's just smart, repeatable systems. But don't wait, just do something. Grab my free diet guide. The video was helpful. Please, I am literally begging you, subscribe and like it and follow me on Instagram. And like just scroll through the long ass description of all the links and like click on all of them. That'd be pretty sick too. See you next time, motherfucker.